Order in the court.
This is Rap and Order, the R&B Unit. Welcome to the R&B Unit, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Regg love hip hop and rap music, but we also love R&B. Regg is from Detroit, and many people could say is like the home of R&B, right?
Yes, indeed.
So, shout out to Diana Ross, shout out to Motown. You got our, Whitney Houston, young, AKA Nippy from Jersey.
Young Nippy.
But we just wanted to talk about R&B, and I can say that as an adult, I started recognizing R&B the proper way in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So, 2004 to 2024 makes 20 years. So I wanted to talk about our top 25 R&B artists.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough.
I want to let you guys know right now, R. Kelly is not making this list. I don't care if you have any statements. He's not making this list, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely know that he's made great music within that time frame, but no, I'm not doing it. You ain't gonna catch me doing that. I'm sorry. Me and Regg came up with 6 different criteria that was necessary, and I think it was pretty essential and needed to rank an R&B artist. I didn't want to get too like down to the nitty gritty and like do like a grading system. I could have, but I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So 1, commercial success that accounts for album sales and chart performance, right? 2, critical acclaim, which would be like awards or critics reviews, right? So that metric would help you with that part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Influence and impact, that will be cultural influence, like impact on the genre, the music industry, including trends and influence in other artists. Also longevity, duration of careers, continued relevance over time. That would be 3. 4, musicianship and vocal ability. Can you sing?
Very important.
It's very important, right? So that would be your technical skills, which would be vocal range, control, overall musicianship, songwriting, production, contributions to songwriting, and producing their own music.
Mm-hmm.
5th is versatility and innovation. That will be genre blending, ability to blend R&B with other genres, i.e. hip hop, pop, soul, reggae, soul, country music. That's something that I think is like, a big deal. Innovative styles, which is introduction to a new style or sound within R&B, right? So that's a very big deal to me. And 6, fan base and public image. Do you have a hive? Do you have a club? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are your fans rabid about you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a group of people that are like, they just don't play about you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the perfect example would be Beyonce's Beehive or Rihanna's Navy.
Right.
And I think Chris Brown's is called Team Breezy.
Team Breezy.
Right, so there's teams like out there. And Mariah Carey has the Butterflies.
Yep.
Mary J. Blige has the Aunties.
Rihanna Navy.
Right?
Aunties?
I don't know. I just made that up.
They could go for that.
I'm
Mary,
sorry.
Auntie though.
Nah, yeah, she not my auntie either. Nah, Mary's baby. But yeah, so I just wanted to list those off so that people could just have an idea of what we're doing. We're going to do a countdown from 25 down, and we're going to do it 5 by 5.
So number 25 with that criteria in mind, and I took this gentleman on and off the list, but I recognize his contributions, even though I feel like his highlight and his peak was his second album.
Okay.
But anytime he drops, he has like a kind of a blank space right now because he hasn't dropped in a while, but every time he drops is significant, and that would be Miguel. I think I recognize his contributions, not just with one, he's dropped the gem with Adorn. That's a song that's going to be played forever, in my opinion.
Okay.
And 2, his innovation. He's able to blend his music, and I think you get a lot of Prince inspiration in his music, with the guitar riffs and the songwriting. And I think he's blending a lot of genres, and I want to see what he does next. So number 24, I got Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe is one of those that really took off in the 2000s. And right now, her last album was pretty solid. and what she's been able to do in her movie career and in music. Electric Lady album was incredible. I already mentioned Prince. She had Prince on that album. She had Erykah Badu on that album. I think she's not afraid to take chances, and that always stands out to me for R&B artists. I got Bryson Tiller, number 23. So Bryson Tiller, because in my opinion, and we've talked about this before, he has changed R&B. Regardless of what his output has been afterwards, he's more here as a pick for his influence. And trap soul really, really originated, and it's been over 10 years now, but that sound is still evident, regardless of if people credit it to him or not. Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars is one of those that he blends genres very well. You never know what he's going to put out. And I think he sticks around, and his songwriting ability is amazing. And I just want to see what he does next as well. The Dream. For a lot of different reasons. His contributions dating back to 2005, he's been on a hot streak. And in this later part of his career, he's been able to contribute with his pen. Now, he got some allegations, right?
New ones, yeah. They fresh.
Yeah, and I'm waiting to see how that plays out. But his contributions as a solo act and as a songwriter have been impeccable. Neo, for those same reasons. I could flip Neo and put Hen 21. I'm gonna flip Neo, put Hen 21, and I'm gonna put The Dream as number 20.
Okay.
Yeah. But Neo, for his contributions, he was on a hot streak in the early to mid 2000s, but his pen is still revered. Yeah.
All right. So for me, at 25, I had Jamie Foxx. He started off really, really, really hot.
Okay.
In the beginning of this 20-year run, and then like he cooled off and focused more on his film career.
Mm-hmm.
But his impact was such like a big deal. Like he started off 2004 like crazy hot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, being on Gold Digger, putting out his Unpredictable album, collaborating with Neo, collaborating with like Drake for My Type, like that's on My Type. I don't even know. Right? So I'll say that. So the next 24, Drake.
I was leaning toward that.
Yes. I don't care what you say. Like, you can't deny it. Like, he's a part of R&B, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's enough said. 23, Ty Dolla $ign. I think Ty Dolla $ign, his Beach House mixtapes and like his contributions to like people's hooks and like what he does in the music, can't deny that, right? And then 22, I have Party Next Door.
He was on and off my fucking list. He really was.
I have Party Next Door. And I think
the reason I'll challenge that, I'll let you go ahead.
Okay. I think it, like our list is going to be preference more so than like who's right or who's wrong. But
yeah.
I really want to see that as well, right? And then 21, Tinashe.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So let me hear your feedback.
So for Party Next Door, only reason why, because anytime I think of somebody, I go back to the criteria and I look at it and I'm like, but does he fit this? He fits it on the technicality of being a songwriter, but I was thinking about the charts, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of his stuff that's revered is from, one, his songwriting, and two, from his mixtapes. So it's not
very true.
I don't think he really has the accolades per se, but if we factor in his writing, because he's written a lot for Drake, then that gives him that technicality. So yeah.
Okay.
Well, number 19, Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak's contributions are just incredible. I think for the amount of time that he's been out and the amount of shit that he's been able to do is crazy. The albums that he's been on, I think I first heard Anderson .Paak in 2015 with the Compton album. And then from there, he just kind of took off. His writing, him playing the fucking drums, he still has one of the best NPR tiny desks of all time. And he just keeps finding ways to be incredible. He just released an album that I still listen to a couple months ago. So solid. Number 19, I got Summer Walker. Number 18. Number 18, I got Summer Walker. Summer Walker has been around for but so many years, but she's 2 for 2 with albums, like a strong 2 for 2. Um, Over It and Still Over It, years from now, it's still gonna be talked about. I think a lot of people recognize her greatness, and a lot of her greatness lies in how much of a mess she is as a person. Because I think you need that messiness to be great in your R&B, and she leans into that shit. I think she is just incredible. Um, Summer Walker and Janae Aiko is my follow up. I think Janae inspired, like the amount of artists that she's been able to inspire, from the Kalanis to the Summer Walkers. Um, that just goes hand in hand. I think Janae is incredible. Her pen is great. Her voice is incredible and soothing. Her writing is impeccable. Number 16 is D'Angelo. D'Angelo.
What the fuck, Reg?
What?
That
What? What? Doesn't say it. The Jump?
he put out one album.
No, he didn't.
Yo, Voodoo. When did Voodoo come out?
2000.
Okay, he put so like in the Vanguard.
2013.
What else he put out?
That was it.
He put out one album.
Put out 2 albums.
No, we count from 2004. He put out Voodoo in 2000.
Yeah.
He put out one fucking album.
Yeah, but
all right,
okay,
the album
so
was
the reason why.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, you can keep it there. I'm just
Yeah.
okay.
So the reason why, 1, he got the accolades, right?
Okay.
2, he has the influence.
He does.
The influence is what really pushed him up top for me. Because it went, obviously he has the advantage from being out from the mid to early 90s up until this point. But regardless of the amount of work that he has out, the influence is there, and he has that knack for, like, whenever he comes out, people are going to rush to it no matter what.
Okay. For number 20, I put Solange.
Mm-hmm.
She's put out 3 projects, but obviously her last 2 projects are the projects that are really stand out. A Seat at the Table, and what's the other project? Oh, Don't Touch My Hair. So Don't Touch My Hair and A Seat at the Table are.
Seat at the Table is a song on. I mean, Don't Touch My Hair is a song on The Seat at the Table.
A Seat at the Table.
You're talking about When I Get Home.
When I Get Home. And
Plain Joy and the Haiti Street Dreams, that came out in 2015.
Right, yeah, I like that project too, and I think that a lot of people allude to that, her. I think because people were saying that she was dating Lil Wayne at that time or some shit.
Yeah,
but
he was solid too.
Yes,
so yeah.
So those 3 projects that she put out. So we have A Seat at the Table, When I Get Home, Solo Star. No, I'm sorry. Soul Angel and the Haley Street Dreams.
Haley Street Dreams.
Haley Street Dreams. I think that she really showed improvement, stepped out of her sister's shadow. So that's 20. 19, I have Kalani. I think Kalani was she had a really a really huge impact, and I really liked her, right? From coming out when she did, and seeing her maturation now as far as where she is musically. And at 18, I have Janae Aiko. I just have them next to each other because I feel they're mirrors of each other, but I like both of their music. I got put on to Janae a long time ago, and her music has definitely grown on me. 17, I have Janelle Monáe, and number 16, I have Miguel.
Okay. I
have Miguel high. I think that Miguel's musical output is a big deal.
Okay. All right, so what am I on, 15?
Yes.
All right, so number 15, I have Erykah Badu.
Okay.
I think Erykah Badu, it goes without saying what she's been able to do in her influence, but we're thinking about the time frame, obviously, because I would rank her a lot higher if I could count her 90s material. Erykah Badu's influence is insane. I think from her output, and she has one of those liberties as an artist to where she can drop anytime and people will listen. Solange is number 14.
Okay.
I think because, and the only reason why I have her higher than Erykah Badu is because of the how current she is, and how active she's gonna be in the future. I think Erica Badu with her output is not going to be, as active as she was in the 90s. I think Solange is young, she's exciting, and people are looking forward to what she does next. Number 13, I have Janet Jackson because of how active she is currently on tour.
Mm.
And bringing in what she is doing and being so fresh despite being an OG in the game. Like she's an OG. Like, she's been in the game almost over 40 years. And I, for one, am looking forward to her new material. And I have her as one of those artists that doesn't have a bad album. Listen to Janet's whole discography, doesn't have a bad album. Number 12, I have Brandy.
Okay.
Brandy, it goes without saying her influence. I think a lot of these girls and her voice, her being called the vocal Bible is one of the things that always resonated with me. And I always like to see how singers give her flowers.
Mm.
Number 11, this guy is an enigma. So only has 3 albums, 2 technically, but Frank Ocean. I think Frank Ocean is going to be one of those artists for the test of time, even though he pisses me off with the amount of space he takes between albums. But he hasn't dropped a dud, and that goes for mixtape wise, that goes for anything that he puts out. People will listen, and his influence is there. And the simplicity in his writing is always great. Vocally, he's not better than he's not better than Brandy vocally, obviously, but I'm counting and factoring in accolades and everything like that. Like Brandy is a legacy act at this point. Frank Ocean is newer, so he's more of the time.
For 15, I got Trey Songz. I feel like we know what he did. He's fell off. I want to say since maybe 2015.
Mm-hmm.
But he started out strong. He started out real strong.
He did.
Right? So you got Trey Songz, then next, I'm going to say Summer Walker at 14.
Mm-hmm.
I have Summer Walker pretty high. My friend Felix was very, very high on Summer Walker when she first came out,
mm-hmm.
and really, really put me onto her. And I'm like, all right, I get it. She's very awkward in person, but her music is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So then at 13, I have Robin Thicke. And I'm shocked that I didn't hear you say his name.
Yeah.
Robin Thicke's music is somebody's music that I lived with for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 12, I have John Legend.
Okay.
And this is going to sound blasphemous, but it's just that John Legend is adult contemporary. His music is very adult. And I think that he didn't influence people, but he's just refreshing to be a new face, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the next person that I have in front of him is not that I think that he's better than him. I just think that his impact and influence on the genre was kind of he brought something new to the genre where John Legend kind of kept tradition going.
Mm-hmm.
So this person at number 11 is Bryson Tiller.
Okay.
I put him pretty high in R&B on the R&B list for what's happened, and some people might say maybe in the last 10 years, but not the last 20 years. But he was kind of a breath of fresh air with what he did with Trap Soul, because his blend and then him coming from Kentucky, and that's the thing. What he did was he started a pipeline in Kentucky. If we didn't get him, we wouldn't have what's the white guy's name? Jack Harlow. And then there's one other artist that's from Kentucky. I can't think of their name right now. But he pretty much kind of started that, and is the hometown hero. So I think that his influence, he definitely has a strong fan base online, especially because he kind of started his career on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a huge deal, and I think that Bryson Tiller's impact on how R&B is even recorded now is a very, very, very big deal.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have T-Pain on your list?
I don't actually.
Okay.
I don't.
It's okay that you don't. I'm not trying to fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
I would just think because I don't either.
Yeah. No,
but I feel really bad about it.
I do too. I kind of just forgot. But
I didn't forget. I purposely didn't put T-Pain on my list.
What's your reason?
Well, for one, because it's not a bad thing, but it's never been defined what the fuck he does. And I think that and as far as gender bending, he fucking is off the charts with that. But because a lot of the times he used auto-tune so much, Like we know that he can sing. Like he's proved that now.
People didn't know in the earlier years.
Yeah, if you listen to his earlier music, like there's no like evidence that he didn't care to lean into it. I don't blame him. Like, you know, it was the sound of the time, but like he just didn't go hard enough to let us know that he could sing. We knew he could write songs. We knew that he was like good at shit like that, but like he didn't go hard to let us know that. But okay, continue, my friend.
Okay, so number 10. Number 10, I got
Nitty gritty.
Yeah, number 10, I got John Legend.
Okay.
John Legend, for all the reasons that you've said, like he's been able to stick around in a way that's really unique. It's not even necessarily that I'm did like so I took some of the personal feel out of a lot of these because I don't listen to John Legend that much, but I can recognize his impact.
Right.
To recognize that he's been on the charts since he came out.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, since 2005.
Yeah. And so that impact and that influence is there. A lot of people listen to John Legend. He has mainstay songs. He has wedding songs. He has it all, you know. And he's been able to be like this contemporary R&B act, like how you said, this grown up R&B, but then also be in like these really different rap songs that aren't typically made for his type of voice and really contribute to it and be a standard in the song. SZA, I got at number 9. SZA is just shit, man. SZA has 2 albums that dropped in 2017 and then SOS that dropped a couple years ago. And they've both been mainstays. Control is almost 10 years old and it's been on the charts since. And that's rare in this day and age, because when you have an artist that drops an album these days, they come and go, you know, regardless of how new or how good the album is. Her writing is refreshing and she's just going to be around for a really long time. Number 8, I got Rihanna. Rihanna has been around for the better part of since 2005.
Wait, damn.
What?
Nothing. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Just what?
I just want to let you go. I'm sorry. I stopped you.
Okay. So Rihanna has been around since 2005. And, you know, she has released consistently up until 2016, you know, and her influence, and people have been begging her for an album ever since. The amount of records she sold, the impact that she made in fashion and her sound and her creativity. It's Rihanna. Like, you know, what else is there to say? Number 7, I got Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige has influence and impact that dates back to the early 90s and that carried into the 2000s and beyond. You know, she's on the small screen now with Power. And regardless of what people say about that show and make fun of it, they always pay respect to the character that Mary J. Blige plays with Monet. And she works on new material, and she's one of those artists, one of those legacy acts that I always check for her new material when she comes out. Where am I? Number 6? Number 6, The Weeknd. The Weeknd's impact is insane. I never could have called it. I actually struggled with his placement on this list because it's like, is he R&B? Is he not? But then you date back to when you first heard The Weeknd, and it was very much R&B. You know, he tapped into a sound at the time that wasn't really toyed with in a way. Like his sound of R&B is pretty unique. So yes, he's very much R&B. It's just that he blends into different genres, which we love, bleeds into different genres, which we love.
Okay.
That's my 6.
All right. This was really hard for me because I had to leave The Weeknd off because I get confused with the genre that he's in, because he's R&B influenced, but he's more of a pop star. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to complicate this for myself. So that's why he's not on my list, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I think that he makes R&B music, but like he is more, it's not R&B music. So for number 10, I have Neo.
Okay.
I think that like something like his first 3 album run, oh my goodness, man, it was incredible. And like it kept going as well, but like the first 3 album run was fucking masterful. And then like his pen, what he was writing for other artists was insane what he was doing for other artists. So I had to like make sure I include him. Number 9, I have Frank Ocean. I think enough is said. Like he's a polarizing figure. Like even though we know he's not going to show up, we still, and if we hear that he might be there, we still hope that he might be there. Number 8, I have SZA. I think SZA's impact on I've seen her firsthand. I've seen her at Camp Flogna. I've seen her at Coachella. Like I saw her with you at South by Southwest. So I've seen the growth of her performance style and like her fan base, and like everything is earned and like she deserves all of it. So she's getting all the accolades, she's getting all the critical acclaim. Her voice is amazing. She has the look, she has the fan base, she's crossing over. Like she kind of like hits everything. It's just that like I think in a couple years maybe she will have number 1, right? So number 7 is where like it started really getting to the nitty-gritty for me. Number 7, I have Mariah Carey. That's Mimi the voice. Like she put out the Emancipation of Mimi, and I feel like that just I feel like she could have put that out and like nothing else. Like that carries her. Like how you feel about D'Angelo.
Yeah.
I feel like the Emancipation of Mimi just carried her. Like that's it. Like I know she put out other albums after that, but nah. Emancipation of Mimi did it for me. Number 6 is Mary J. Blige. Like I just think that Mary J. Blige is just a staple in R&B. She always will be. She has an album that came out that I really, really love and listen to on a regular, still to this day. It's called the London Sessions.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of people didn't even hear that album, but basically she worked with all of Adele's producers and proved the fact that like sometimes like, you know, it's a little it's a little pigmented bias on certain shit, but that's neither. I'm not here to talk about that stuff, but yeah. So that's my 10 through 6.
Gotcha. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go. Drum roll.
All right. Number 5, I got Chris Brown. So Chris Brown is number 5 for a lot of different reasons.
Sean gonna fight you. He gonna jump through.
One, I've been on record as saying I don't really listen to Chris Brown like that
anymore.
Yeah. But I respect him as an act. I respect his legacy as like being this person. He's turned into one. He started out as a very traditional R&B act, right? When he was young, but then he grew into his own and he started making these records that were very intentionally blending different genres. Which he did it really well on Heartbreak on the Full Moon. It's 45 songs, which is insane.
Jeez.
But in that 45 song stretch, which took me like a couple weeks to finish, he bled into very different genres, but he maintained his style and his sound. Signature dance moves, signature voice in those sounds. He transitioned into he did movies, he does art. Like there isn't anything that he doesn't do, and his live shows currently are selling out. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, number 4, I have Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys is, you can say whatever you want about her voice cracking. You can say whatever you want about her latest output, but early 2000s, man, and for the accolades are there. The quality of the music very early on was there, and it's enough to carry her into being on this list for the accolades and for the recognition and for the acclaim. Her first 3 albums out the gate were incredible. You got Songs in A Minor, you got Diary of Alicia Keys, you got As I Am, you got like her albums and her output at that time was just incredible. And it was impactful enough for her to make this list. Number 3, I got Mariah Carey. Now, Mariah Carey, she has the cheat code of having such a stellar and flawless 90s run that carried into the 2000s. And then she had a blemish in the early 2000s with Glitter. But then the way that she recovered that with the Emancipation of Mimi and the hits that she was able to make reminded niggas who she is. And, she's one of those artists that transitioned into making R&B the way that she did. And the way that she did it was really cool, right? Because she never really compromised her sound, but she worked with hood ass niggas, right? But it was so cool to see Mariah do it because she wasn't trying to like, quote unquote, like black it up in a way. It was like, Mariah's being Mariah, but it just happens to feature the locks. Like it just happens to feature Jay-Z. It happens to feature Cam. Like she maintained her integrity. And didn't compromise. Number 2, I got Usher. Usher has sold over 80 million records. Usher just headlined the Super Bowl. 2004, you can't talk about 2004 without talking about Usher. The Confessions came out, one of the biggest and best selling R&B albums ever. It went diamond. And his output since then, you could say what you want about his output since Confessions, but he's been steadily putting out albums and he's been consistent and he still sells records. And he's in like a different wave of his career now. And it's almost like he's as big as he was then as an artist, and his voice has gotten even better than Confessions, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Number one kind of when we looked at the criteria, this is the first person that came to mind. And I think that's for a reason. We talk about genre blending. This person has blended country with R&B now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about Beyonce. Beyonce goes without saying. Granted, I don't think she's made a traditional R&B album since 2003, and that was with Dangerously in Love. But this run of Beyonce is impeccable, and I think traditionally at her heart, she's an R&B artist that just so happens to go into different genres and visit them the way that she has. But it's exciting to see. And she blended all these genres, and maybe rock is next. That's what's rumored, right? And we'll just have to see how she does that. But the number one R&B artist is Beyonce.
Since 2004. Okay. So number 5, I have Alicia Keys. She started off it started off hot, like on fire. And then she cooled off a little bit. Number 4, I have Chris Brown. I have Chris Brown because the one thing that kind of slowed him down wasn't like a lack of music or lack of output. It was, a domestic issue, which is very unfortunate. And I feel terrible that both parties had to go through. But the music that we got from Chris Brown, great. We didn't get a cohesive album. So I think that's what stopped me from trying to like make him number 1. Our boy LaShawn was very upset with me for not making him at least number 2.
Mm.
LaShawn feels that Chris Brown should be number 2.
Mm.
And I just was like, he said that Usher hasn't done shit since 2009.
All right, LaShawn.
That's what I'm telling you. He said LaShawn.
All right.
He said that. He said Usher ain't do shit since 2009. Come on, Taurian. That's what he hit me with. All right. But yeah, I think Chris Breezy deserves that. Number 3, I have Rihanna.
Okay.
Rihanna has become one of the biggest stars in the world. Like, I think that the reason, the fact that like people are yearning for music from her so much, and I think that's also impressive because like she's not celebrated for her vocal abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like her music is just that good. She transcends music, her style, her influence. Her fan base is loyal. She's selling. Her fan base is so loyal they're buying clothes that she sells now. They're buying her underwear.
Yeah.
I'd buy her underwear too. But yeah, anyway. Number 2, I have Usher. What more can I say? The man just completed a residency in Vegas. He's going on a world tour. He just headlined the Super Bowl. Like he made roller skating cool again. Mm-hmm. Like he's Usher, man. Like, and I think like I think that's enough said. And number 1, who else did you think it was? The fucking queen, Beyonce. She's our queen. Everybody's queen. Even if you don't accept it, she's your queen. Mm-hmm. It's Beyonce. I think that there's no question about it. As far as like R&B, she's kind of like carried the flag for R&B for all of this time. Since from her debut album till now, like I feel like she's been like at the forefront. Like actually, me wearing this Diana Ross t-shirt is pretty significant because I feel like they're like are kind of like Beyonce is kind of like her reincarnated, you know what I'm saying? They both came up in groups. Mm-hmm. And then like, they broke out on their own and like, Scandal and, all this stuff like mystery and stuff surrounding them. People be interested in their lives. People still care about Diana Ross till this day.
Yeah.
And like she is a full-blown grandma. Like, why do you care about this woman's love life, anything? But people still care. And I feel like with Beyonce is going to be the same way.
Yeah.
People going to care about what her kids do. People going to root for her kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Evan Ross and Tracy Ellis Ross like are out here, mm-hmm. like they're working actors. And like a lot of people sometimes like, I'll be like, hey ma, you know that's Diana Ross' daughter. I remember when she was born.
Oh, wow.
Like, you know, my grandmother say stuff to me like that.
Yeah.
Or being, or you know, like
It was like,
yeah,
it was big news.
or like my grandmother like spreading terrible rumors talking about, you know, that Evan boy, that's Michael Jackson's son.
And Diana used to have fun.
Yeah,
She used to have fun.
my grandmother really tried to convince me that Evan
Evan Russell, Michael's boy. Who is it? Who is his dad?
He's like a Swedish white man or something like that. Like, I forgot his name, but yeah,
That could be Michael. Michael's a Swedish wife.
his DNA is still black.
I know.
It just made it mad funny. But yeah, you know, there's definitely a few people that we left off. I left off the Dream, and I wanted to like. I feel like his work. I feel like me mentioning Beyonce still acknowledges him because he's been working so closely with Beyonce over the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I only had 25, so I really had to think about the impact. And I think like the Dream, like he kind of like stayed in like a box. Like he put out great bodies of work, but like as far as like my scoring system for myself, I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
What do you leave off of there? You got Janet on there?
No, I don't.
It's crazy.
What has Janet put out since 2004, Reg?
Bro, she put out
Demeanor Joe. You talking about that album?
Demeanor Joe.
That album was a fail. That's the album that she put out on Def Jam with
it was
right?
It was a fail because of the controversy. That's why it wasn't properly supported. But it's a great album. Great album.
I mean, okay. You don't know who I'm surprised you left off. Speaking of controversy,
who?
I'm shocked you left. Yeah, I'm shocked you left your man off.
Because Justin put out. He dips in and out of R&B.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
But I don't know. I don't know why I left him off. Why'd you leave him off?
Because he's not an R&B artist. Why'd you leave off Robin Thicke? That's your man's.
I fuck with Robin Thicke. I don't know. It just slipped my mind.
Okay.
Just slipped my mind.
Okay.
But also, Robin Thicke only has one album that I really like.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Robin Thicke was good.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Some people probably gonna ask why we didn't put Ari Lennox on there. What's your thoughts?
Ari again only has one album that I really like. Shea Butter Baby is damn near a classic. But I think her influence isn't really there yet.
Okay.
It's still so new that like I don't see Ari don't have no sons.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Like there's nobody where you're like, all right.
Yeah. Like Jill Scott is Ari's son. No.
Okay. Ari is Jill Scott's son. I got what you're saying. Let me see. Let me think who else. Daniel Caesar. You don't think he's done enough yet to earn that?
No, but he's released really good albums. I just I don't know if he's, the accolades are not there from going off the criteria. I don't know. It's just not there for me yet.
You know somebody that I wanted to add really badly, but I felt like I couldn't justify it to you. Tyrese.
Yeah, no, you can't justify that.
I love Tyrese, y'all.
I do fuck with Tyrese.
I love Black Tie, man. That's my guy.
I realistically only know one Tyrese album.
You know 2 Tyrese albums.
I mean, I know the albums, but I mean, listened.
Oh, okay. But no, I'm just saying. But nah, you ain't listening to I Want to Go There?
No, is that the one with Signs of Love Making?
Yeah.
Nah, I listened to the first Tyrese album, and that's Sweet Lady.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Like I'm going to lay off because I it's like other people.
Why you didn't put Monica?
I mean, no.
Okay.
I ain't put Monica or Brandy. Cause no.
Yeah, that's crazy. You didn't put Brandy on there.
I mean, cause Brandy vocally is better than everybody on the list, but like she ain't put out a project that I thought was significant enough. Like now, if this was for the 90s, Brandy and Monica will be at the top of the list.
I mean, all right. Well, okay.
Yeah, man. I see what you're trying to do, Rez. Don't try to do that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Let us know what your lists are. Like, tell us what you think. This was really fun. So,
Hey man, we're gonna get chewed up, but it's okay. Name yours. Take the opportunity to name yours. Don't just be like, oh, y'all are fucking crazy. Name your shit. Share it. We won't see you in front of a camera naming who you like and who you don't like. All
right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time.
And today.
Dun dun.